Hi, in this tutorial we are going to start managing our courses. This is because if you remember from the other lessons, we have a student entity with the student controller, student repository, student service, and so on. But we don't have a course controller, course repository, and course service. Now we want to highlight some problems, but we'll tackle these problems later. Now we want to expand our application and we want to manage the course entity. So we want to have the ability to create new courses, to add courses to students, and so on. So let's start with the controller. Okay, let's go on student controller, and if you click here and you do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, you have the possibility to duplicate this controller, and we go with CourseController. Click OK, add to Git versioning, and let's start with the get method. We want to comment these lines. Great. And now let's change some names. Here we must use courses, of course, and here we want to change this name in CourseService, and even there we want to use CourseService, and we don't want student service, but we prefer to use CourseService. Of course we don't have this service, but we'll create this later. So let's change this and this. CourseService, great. This is for the dependency injection, and okay. Here we don't want to return a student, but we want to return a course. Here we want to change the name for consistency. We are going to call this get course by ID. Here we can already import this course, and this is an optional course. We can call this course, and we don't want student service but course service, and here we'll have get course by ID. Of course we don't have this method yet. Here we can do course map response entity. Okay, great. At this point we must create the course service. Now let's go on the student service. We do the same trick, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and we create a course service. Great. Now we are doing this get course by ID. So for now we can comment out the delete, the update, and create student, search by first name. We are going to comment all these lines, and here we must change names. So we need a course repository, of course. We need a course repository here, and here we must do the dependency injection with the course repository, and here we need course repository. We don't want student but course. Here we go with course get course by ID, and the same for this course repository dot find by ID. Great. These lines are commented out, so now we need to create the repository. Okay, let's click on student repository, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and then we are going to create course repository. For now we can comment this method because it was for the like search style, and we can change this entity. Of course we need to use the course entity, and now we have the course service, the course repository, and the course controller. Let's check these errors. Okay, we need to import this entity, we need to import this CourseRepository class. Now let's check why we still have related problems. If you click on related problems in IntelliJ, it will say where the problems are. So we can click and check if there are some problems. Great, now we are inside the service. Of course, we have problems because we didn't import the classes before. Now it's everything imported, so we are ready to test our application with these new features. Before testing the application, we want to check the CourseController, and we need to make sure that we have the method getMapping. We have getMapping /id, so we are ready to test the application. Let's start the application. Meanwhile, we can check the beaver. Close this. We created this course with ID 1, math tutorial, title math, and we have the, we must use the student table. Great, we must check the student table, and you can even navigate the database right here. Let's check under tables. Great, we have course, student, student courses, and these are our students. So we have recross and so on. If you click on student courses, we have the associations. So we have students ID 302 associated with course ID 1. Now let's check IntelliJ. Great, Tom can start to port 8080. We can go on Postman, and right now, if you, let's make this a little bit bigger. I already copy and pasted this call. We can change the name get course. Remember to use these /courses /ID 1. If you have one, of course. If you have another ID, let's use another ID. Now, if you click on send, we've retrieved our course, math. Now, the problem is this. If you have a many-to-many relationship inside your database, in the other lessons, we used this annotation, JSON back reference, to avoid the JSON deserialization. So in the next lesson, we are going to fix this problem, because right now, if you interrogate the course, it actually has an association with a student, but you can't see it. So for example, if you go here and you try this method, get students 302, and you click on send, you have recross and the associated courses. But if you do the opposite and you try with courses, you have only the course and you can't see the associated students. This is a problem that we need to fix.